Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's check out East 10 Nordics running on PC. Okay. Display speed fast. No autoplay. We can do asset caching, sure. Let's go to our display, borderless. Async is on. My frame limit should match my refresh rate. Turn on HDR. The UI brightness is, yeah, it's good there, I think. All I think is just a tad bit brighter. Depth of field, no. Do high quality there. Make all these high. Oh, there's co-op available, huh? I did not know that. I'll do normal. Although these games tend to run hard. Enable additional footing function. This will add footholds in areas that are difficult to maneuver. Oh yeah, sure. There's other functions can be modified by selecting settings from the system menu. Well, thank goodness. I wonder where that is.
At the moment of birth, each of us is as free as a bird, with not a single restraint tying us down. But with age come the varied shackles that bind, clipping away at our wings, feather by feather. In time, we long for a return to the freedom we once knew. But the truth is, we can return to those days whenever we so choose.
Passenger liner Adamus. Starting on a ship again. Didn't we start on a ship on
Is this weather perfect
East
or
8?
what? The brisk ocean breeze, the wide open sea, smells like a new journey on our horizon. I gotta say, I'm glad I took you up on your offer, Adol. Being stranded on Asteria for so long was really getting to me.
I'm glad I asked you to come.
I'm glad I asked you to come.
Okay, good. He does speak now.
Same. This has me even more pumped than all the way back when I first left my hometown. It's been a wild ride since then, but that doesn't make me any less grateful to you. I can hardly remember the last time I felt this chipper.
Adol! Dogi!
Doogie.
So this is where you two were. My, I never dared dream I'd get to see the actual ocean in person. Even now, it's difficult to believe a vessel this large is capable of floating upon its waves. What manner of sorcery is this?
I guess this is all one big culture shock for someone born and raised on Ys. Dr. Flair here's even giddier than me.
That I am. In my view, being on the surface instead of above it is a miracle in itself. To say nothing of the unprecedented chance it's given me to search for the original strain of Celcetan flower.
Celcetan flower? That's the name of a type of medicinal herb, right? It's native to the Great Forest on the Gallia-Hispani border or something.
Indeed it is. I couldn't very well rest on my heels after hearing that's where you two were headed. The prospect of seeing it in its natural habitat was ample reason to climb aboard.
Your get-up and go could put even Adol to shame. But be sure to mind your health, okay? At the rate you're going, you'll end up fainting in sheer bliss the second you stumble onto those flowers.
Well, frankly speaking, that scenario is all but guaranteed.
Well, we won't be arriving in Salsetta for a long while yet. Might as well kick back a bit and enjoy the ride for now, don't you think?
Man, they fixed up all the aliasing in the from the previous games. It was a very Nintendo kind of looking game, honestly, with the way the characters are shaded. I mean, that's certainly a good thing. They have that level of detail now, but yeah, it is weird to actually see a Falcom name that I can say looks good. You know, it's still got you know, these low poly characters. But it's just a very nice, clean looking game. So yeah, good job, guys. It's about time. We have Dead Zone, but where's the... Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is way too low. Way too low. The sun and clear blue skies as far as the eye can see. Couldn't ask for anything. Couldn't ask for better sailing weather. If you told me back when we first met I'd be sitting out on a trip with you like this, I'd have said you were full of it. And now we're Salketa bound. I wonder what we'll find there. Start of a new adventure. Adventure, huh? Yeah, that word's really starting to grow on me. I know I'm a bit too far along in my years to be getting this excited, but life since that day in my homeland of East descending to the ground has been like a never-ending dream. Every single thing my eyes come across looks so fresh and beautiful. It has me feeling as though I were a child again. I get just what you mean. And I, in turn, have come to understand yet another reason you set out on your journey. Okay, that's still a little slow. A little slow. I can't believe it's set so low. I mean, that's a pretty slow camera. All clear to the south-southwest. Nothing sadder than an all-day lookout duty. Do you suppose we're in Gillian waters yet? I hear they've been rife with pirates as of late. Did you find your friends and come aboard the harbor in Bromelok? Rumors spoke of a mysterious island in this vicinity, blocked off by a never-ending storm. But we made port there. The seas were just as calm as could be. Perhaps it was just an unusually sunny day. The weather is quite a whimsical thing. This is our third voyage on this new route. I just hope we slip through the cracks by now. A tricky current runs along this region, you see. No need to concern yourself. Oh, well, now I'm concerned. You're looking to strike it rich in Salsetta too? 3 cheers for the gold rush. Wow, your hair's so red, mister. My family and I are on a pilgrimage. Lucky for us, this ship is nice and at such affordable fares too. Okay, I still think it's slow. I'm just surprised how slow it is. 9. I mean, that's, you know, especially when you're running at 120 hertz, you want that camera to move. These passengers don't have a care in the world. Can't wait to get back to port and have a drink. This man seems to be the ship's captain. Now might be a good chance to strike up a conversation. Talk to the captain.
Ah, a passenger. Having a pleasant voyage, I hope? You appear to be a seasoned traveler for a boy your age.
I guess you could say that.
So my hunch was correct. This may be no surprise to you then, but we have some extraordinary sights coming up shortly.
Oh, what's that over there?
Mountains? No, wait. I think those are islands.
Attention all passengers. I am your captain, Victor LaSalle. Allow me to express my gratitude to you for sailing with us on the Adamas today. If you look to our left-hand side, you'll find Obelia Gulf, famous for its sprawling archipelago.
Belia Gulf.
This current bout of clear weather lets us see the myriad patches of land, both large and small, that populate these waters. It will be quite some time yet before the ship arrives at our destination in Celceta. So until then, we invite you to bask in this scenic tapestry of blue seas and beauteous islands. Understood. Let's make haste.
My word, what a magnificent sight.
Obelia Gulf, huh? Sure doesn't disappoint. That reminds me, Adol. You said you were looking for a western archipelago before you came to Asteria, right? There any chance this might be... Whoa! A little close for comfort, don't you think? How's a guy supposed to take in the sights like this? Hey, Adol.
Men, prepare to hunt. Behold thy foes with steady hearts. Fear not thy fate, for life and death are the deities to decide. Those who fall with valor shall be ushered into their divine kingdom. Now, shout forth the name of our god!
Har!
It can't be!
Pirates!
So he did hire mercenaries.
Shield wall! Charge!
Stay behind us, Doc.
Right. Thank you.
Oh? You another one of them mercs? Bit on the puny side, ain't he? Sure you know which way to hold that thing, little fella?
What a joke. The big lug behind him would be more worth our time.
Why are you attacking the ship?
Why else do you think? Everybody's gotta make a living one way or another. Enough chit-chat. Let's make this quick.
Attacking and targeting. Press A to perform a normal attack. Press R3 to lock onto enemies, making attacks easier to land.
What? No way. What a joke. What a joke. Damn it all! Rotten punk! You're in for it now!
You bumbling louts! How long does it take to handle one sellsword trying to play bodyguard?
Our fault, ma'am. The kid's a lot tougher than he looks.
Oh, really? Fine then. I'll take care of him myself.
Hold right trigger to guard. Guarding against enemy attacks will prevent most damage. Press left button to perform a swift movement and evade enemy attacks.
Done saying your prayers? You're pretty skilled.
Whoa! Here it comes!
Whole lot of fuss for one small fry.
Try not to lose that red head of yours, kid!
Princess. I must ask that you stand down. That boy appears to be no more than a passenger.
What?
We have already apprehended the captain. Right this way.
So those are pirates. This is my first time encountering them in the flesh.
Oh boy, we're in a real jam now. Ugh.
Captain Victor LaSalle. I thought we had an agreement. There's a toll for sailing these waters. And you promised never to skip out on it again.
Hold on a moment! This is the last time, I swear! Whatever you do, just let me live!
We both already know how this goes. Any room you had to parley was forfeit the minute you put those mercenaries on your payroll.
Stay your hand, boy. Those are no mere pirates. They're the Balta Sea Force.
East 10. Yeah, hard to believe there's 10 games. I mean, technically more than 10 games. But 10 games of the Adol saga. Rustberry Inn. Chapter 1. Karnak.
Woof! I'm stuffed. Guess good eats are a given when you set up town by the ocean. The stuff you get further inland just doesn't compare to fresh seafood.
That aside, it would seem we're going to be stranded here for the time being.
Yeah. Who'd have guessed the Adamas was cruising through these waters illegally? Obviously, the captain already paid the ultimate price for that. But I hear they're even seizing his ship as compensation for all those unpaid tolls.
It leads me to wonder what the story is behind this Balta Sea Force. To their credit, they did let Adol loose after determining he was merely a passenger.
Doesn't make those lugs any less high and mighty, though. If they look like pirates and plunder like pirates...
Like Normans, you mean?
Normans, you say?
There are lawless people from the north with incredible seafaring know-how. Word is, they've looted their way not just here, but across the entire North Sea. Raiding towns, pillaging churches, kidnapping innocents. None of it is beneath a Norman. And the Balta Sea Force makes up just one faction among them.
Sounds like your typical pirates to me. How do they get away with it?
I was given to understand that the entire region of Glia fell under Roman Imperial control.
Rumor has it that not even the Empire would dare to defy the Sea Force. The Normans have had an iron-fisted grip on Obelia Gulf for ages now. Some say that it spares us from suffering under Roman rule, but they don't speak for everybody.
Hey, did you hear about what happened to the Adamas?
I did. Captain LaSalle was treading a dangerous line. He simply reaped what he sowed, if you ask me.
Won't argue with that.
Still, it's hard not to feel for the guy.
Those pirates had no right to waltz in like they owned these waters and demand a toll. Why should any of us have to play along with their made-up...
Shush! I can sympathize, but that sort of talk is best kept to yourself.
Oh, what did I do to deserve being born in Karnak, of all places?
I see what you mean. Doesn't sound like they get the warmest reception around here.
As would be the case in any town, though this one does seem to have its fair share of hardships.
I'd say it's got a lot going for it. I'm sure it's not all bad.
Now, Adol, though on that subject, there does seem to be quite a bevy of islands here in Obelia Gulf.
Oh, hold on a minute. Okay.
Oh, yes, that's true. We locals are so used to the view that it often slips our minds.
That reminds me, Missy. These islands wouldn't happen to come with any unusual myths or lore, would they? Our little group's got a special interest in that sort of thing.
Is that your reason for traveling, maybe? I can't guarantee there's anything that'll live up to your expectations, but... let's see... Aha! If it's run-of-the-mill folktales you're after, I have just the one.
Really now? Do share.
Well, legends tell of what's known as the Sea King's Throne. The throne is said to be hidden away on one of the islands here in Obelia Gulf. Supposedly, whoever finds and sits upon it will have their wishes granted.
Oh, that's some juicy stuff. How about it, Adol? This is anything for you?
I don't know. We can't not look into it.
That's the spirit. We got plenty of time to kill, so what the hey?
Hold on a moment. It really is just a story.
Oh, what's the harm? Let them chase their dreams. That's what being young is all about. Heck, back when I was their age,
Forgive him. He's had a few ales too many, it seems. Say that throne really exists, though. What would you wish for, Rosalind?
Huh? Me? Well, for our humble little business to prosper, of course. What else?
Brings a tear to my eye, it does.
Renee must be proud. It's easy to see why you're Rooseveri's poster girl.
Makes me want to spend 3 days and nights drinking this tavern down to its last drop. And I do it all with a smile. The more they rake in the cash, the happier Rosalind gets.
How sweet!
I think you've had quite enough for one day. Our apologies for bothering you, gentlemen.
Nah, it's all good.
Like they mentioned, my name is Rosalind. I'm the daughter of the owners. The three of you are going to be lodging with us tonight, right? If you have any issues during your stay, anything at all, just let me know.
Thanks for the hospitality.
Of course! Always happy to be of service. Well, I'd better get back to work. Relax and unwind as long as you need.
Such a capable young lady. Reminds me of Lilia back home.
By the way, Adol, I know this Sea King's throne is a big deal and all, but we got some other things to take care of first if we're sticking around. The travel funds we scrounged up were only enough to get us to Salsetta.
Quite right. With that in mind, I plan to pay the local clinic a visit. Upon our arrival, I noticed a flyer that said they were recruiting medical practitioners.
Well, ain't that convenient? Doesn't really solve the issue for us two, though.
Are you youngsters in need of work?
Yeah. You got any leads?
Well, both the harbor and the town militia are hiring at the moment. The docks are always short on labor. I'm certain a brawny fellow such as yourself would be a welcome addition. And the red-haired lad is a swordsman, no? The militia's been on the hunt for temporary recruits, I believe.
No joke? That's great! Thanks for the tip!
Seems we have a few promising candidates.
Sure do. Let's get out there and follow up on them once we're done taking a load off.
Well, the main menu allows you to view stats, save, and more. Wonder if we can get away with Ultra. Are you going out today? The weather's just perfect for a stroll. Yeah, let's plan to look around town. Great! Karnak's not that big of a town, but there's plenty to see. It's been a thriving trade hub for a long time now, so we often get peddlers and foreign ships stopping by. Who knows? They might have some interesting stories to share with you. So, you're in your teens too, right? Well, that's happy news. We don't get a lot of travelers my age around here. Hope we can get to know each other during your stay here in Karnak. Oh no, Adol's last girlfriend was a goddess, you know. That's kind of hard to compete, yeah. Our Rose is a lovely girl, don't you think? She's the inn's pride and joy, not to mention one of its main draws. It sounds as though you've had a real stroke of bad luck. Try not to let it discourage you too much. I'll serve a bowl of soup with your dinner on the house. The fish caught here in Obelia Gulf are absolutely divine. To be perfectly honest, you could do much worse than having to stay here a while. Sure is nice being young, ain't it? Dreaming big and all that. Used to do some of that myself back in the day. Now then, I'll be excusing myself once I finish eating this. Sachi's waiting for me, so it's best I hurry home. Lucky you, having a family to go home to. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that after all you've been through. It's alright, Cohen. I appreciate the consideration.
All right, you two. This is where we split up for now.
Indeed. I'll be heading to the local clinic. I may just take a look around town as well, seeing as we're extending our stay.
Let's aim to meet back up around dinner time then. Adol, I'm guessing you're also gonna...
Me. Seek me.
Adol, you good?
Oh, heard a strange voice.
A voice? I didn't hear anything. Sure it wasn't just your imagination?
There's no shortage of noises out here. Perhaps you mistook one for somebody speaking to you.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. It's time to start scoping this place out. You probably plan to wander the streets a bit yourself before checking in with the militia, huh, Adol? Catch you both later then.
LB to dash. It seems the Celestial Master has blessed us with yet another day of lovely weather.
I've got to say, the quality of his Spanish leather goods is on a whole other level.
One might say the same of Obelian seafood. Rich flavors, firm to the touch. It is simply unparalleled. Rome and Hispani may be at odds right now, but I believe our transaction today has proved mutually beneficial.
To be perfectly honest, our middleman here deserves all the credit for making this deal happen.
That attire? Is he...
Well spotted. I am indeed a Norman. However, I find that being a tradesman suits me far better than waving an axe about.
That's good to know. They say Normans are first-class mariners. No doubt that expertise slots in perfectly with mercantile work.
I'm flattered to hear you say so.
It's thanks to the Balta Sea Force that we're still able to do business like this during wartime. They're the ones who make sure ships from both sides can travel these waters safely.
Not having those persnickety Roman officials around to stick their oars in has been heaven sent for us as well. I very much look forward to your continued patronage.
You and me both, pal. And let's not forget to keep our friends from the Sea Force in the loop, too.
On a separate note, Romes, the militia recently informed me that an incident has blocked the highway out of town. Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you have an important negotiation to attend in that direction?
Well, well.
Word gets around fast. It's nothing I'm not aware of. In fact, I've already asked the militia for an update on the situation. Shouldn't be long before they report back.
Tomorrow's business negotiations are of the utmost importance. But I'm not worried in the slightest. Why? Because my son, whom I've tenderly raised into my capable successor, will be coming with me. Business is booming, and I have many to thank for it. The Balta Sea Force, first and foremost. Ah, so the boy will be joining you as well. He's impressively capable for once still so young. I pray that your negotiations go favorably. This town's the gateway to the whole of Obelia Gulf. We get loads of ships passing through every day. Karnak Port District, Karnak Harbor.
You there, with the red hair.
Well, here's an unfamiliar face. You must be one of the passengers from the Adamas. Is everything all right? They didn't hurt you, did they?
Sorry for calling to you out of nowhere like that. We each have a child about the same age as you, so our motherly instincts kicked in.
Honestly, who do those Balta hooligans think they are, wreaking havoc left, right, and center? They impose an exorbitant toll on every vessel crossing Obelia Gulf, and plunder anyone who flouts it.
Some ships, like the Adamas, will try and make their way through without drawing attention. But when they're found out, they wind up like Captain LaSalle.
Why doesn't anyone fight back?
Because ships that do pay the toll get escorted to safety by the Balta Sea Force themselves. In that sense, they do their part to maintain order throughout the Gulf, which is why the Roman Empire turns a blind eye. When all is said and done, as long as we live here, those brigands' word is law.
There are far fewer instances of pillaging than before now, so we can only assume this is for the best. Still, it would be nice if our mayor could put his foot down every once in a while.
I pity the man. Having to deal with our complaints and the Sea Force's demands has him between a rock and a hard place.
Well, that's what he signed up for when he took on the job. Anyway, you just be sure to stay out of their line of fire.
Anyway, listen to this, Corinne. My son's been steering completely clear of our house. Oh, that's right, he returned from working abroad just recently, didn't he? It's rather upsetting of him, though, after he came all the way back home, too. I can understand his reasoning. Still, it's been such a long time since we've seen each other. I'd really like to sit down for a talk, even if just for a bit. Damn Normans, always throwing their weight around. The sea's just beautiful, isn't it? Almost feels like it could suck you right in. You can if you let it, yeah. At last I arrive, so this is Karnak. It is as rustic as they say. Nevertheless, it should serve my purposes. To begin, I shall seek lodging for the day, then I can discuss matters with the local priest. Doesn't seem like the town's on high alert. I should be okay here for a few days. Gonna have to gather intel without drawing any undue attention, though. Alright, we'll be leaving transporting the goods in your capable hands. Take care out there. I hear there are supposed to be some rough waves on the way to Rome today. Yeah, we got it handled. Can't be half as scary as sailing afoul of those Normans. I have to say though, kid, you sure are growing up fast. Your dad must be real proud of you. Huh, I'm just trying to do what's expected of me as the company's next in line. Ooh, this is some pretty hefty lifting. Hey, Adol, find yourself a job yet? I'll enjoy the employment life for a little bit. I knew being cooped up in one place and working all day would be torture for a guy like you. But we can travel anywhere without money, so we Could you try taking this seriously? Or we can't travel anywhere without money. I have to say, though, getting caught up in a pirate raid after we set off is some real rotten luck. Which reminds me, didn't you say you washed up in Asteria after a shipwreck? Actually, don't tell me. It'll just make me nervous about the rest of our trip. This is the Balta Sea Force's command post. You come at a busy time. Our princess and the others are cleaning up after the incident with the Adamas. Handling a ship this big is going to take a while. I figure they'll be back late tonight, or maybe even tomorrow. I haven't seen you around before. Let me guess, you're one of the passengers from the Adamas. That captain was new to the trade. Might be why he ignored all our warnings and tried to pull a fast one. Don't be like him. If you want to cross Obelia Gulf, you've got to follow the rules and keep to your word. Isn't it just terrible? Not that I'd expect any better from the Normans. They've always... Been a while since my last time in town, and it still looks just the same as ever. The smell, the sound of crashing waves, it's just like when I was little. Guess that's why I haven't gotten this place... Guess that's why I haven't forgotten this place, despite being gone for so long. Even the tiniest parts I still remember. Makes it nice and rustic in a way. Well, your hair's so red. You a foreigner? You sure went out of your way to visit this crap hole of a town. If you want to see something actually worth your time, you should go back out to sea. Meow? When the heck's the next ferry coming in again? I better make sure I don't miss it. Oh, are you a traveler? That's some seriously red hair you've got. Hey, where'd the captain and all the sailors go? I should have known the fare was too good to be true. What a disaster that voyage was. Ah, you're that redhead from before. Quite the mess we've landed in, isn't it? Can you believe the Adamas was sailing illegally? I certainly didn't expect to get stranded here either. They say the next ship is due to leave tomorrow at first light. We best try and decompress until then. My. So that's what happened. Very well then. I, Cuthbert, would be more than glad to extend a helping hand. Please feel free to stay here at the church. I have food to offer as well, if you don't mind it being on the meager side. After all, one must assist his fellow man in troubled times. Sure. The priest is nice and all, but he seems just a bit eccentric. Not that beggars can't be choosers. The doors of the Hieroglyph Church are open to all. After all, those who believe shall be saved. Now, please do come inside. My, though, to think you would stand up to the Balta Sea Force. I don't know your reasons for traveling, but whatever they are, I wish you the best of luck. Haha, I'm gonna be the next one to sit on that throne. Just you wait. I mean, sure, kid. Yeah, dream big. What's the worst that could happen here? A complete disappointment? A waste of time? Pshaw. A gang of drunken Normans caused another scene in front of my store. Mayor Clement, you have to do something about this. Not just that, with the ridiculously high tolls they're charging, the tragedy of the Adamas will surely happen again. Everyone, please calm down. I will address each one of your concerns in turn. Regarding the Adamas, I am told that its captain had gone so far as to hire mercenaries. As such, he shares the blame for what transpired. We cannot afford to make careless accusations. Always playing the norm as the obedient little lapdog. I can't claim otherwise, but even still. Order must be preserved. In regards to the disturbance in front of your store, I will lodge a complaint myself. However, it is important that we maintain a stable relationship with the Balta Sea Force. What is it now? Get something. Got something red floating in front of me. Damn it, all's blurry. All's blurry. Can't make it out for shit. Just let me get my bearings here. The man lifts the bottle of liquor to his lips and takes a big swig. Now that's the stuff. What are you gawking at, Red? This ain't no show. I wanted to get lost. Listen there, sonny boy. Ain't nothing in the world that beats a stiff drink. Helps you see better. Helps you stop shaking. It's the best medicine for whatever ails you. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's not true. But, you gotta humor this guy. Okay, I can break those boxes for some reason. I guess I'm in my head I'm playing a different game. I don't think I'll get my shopping done at Carpent Trading today. Their wide selection is a real lifesaver. I'll never call your selection wide, ma'am. I've got necklaces made of the finest Obelia Gulf pearls. How about it? I'll cut you a deal. For some reason, those militia folk have been awful hectic since this morning. Well, Mina here is certainly had it rough, though I suppose the same goes for us as well. When it comes to our children, we parents just can't help but worry ourselves silly over them. Oh, look at me chatting the day away. Sorry about that. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. Goodness, though, what an exhausting voyage. I should have taken a nicer ship. Though I suppose evading the detection was the more pressing concern. Nevertheless, now is the time to act. That really is a fine ship you have there. Do you mind if I take a look at it before you leave port? Ah, no, not at all. So long as you don't fall into the ocean like you did that one time. Bring up old shit. If we're sticking around a while, then we'll have to make some money to cover our travel expenses. You should knuckle down and get onto that job hunt, too. Oh, hey there. Are you traveling too? Sure is a beautiful town, isn't it? No use asking someone who's not from around here. Need to check with the locals. I wonder when your father will get home. I don't know. Depends on if you met her sister on the voyage back. And not sounding like you probably wouldn't understand, but I can't stand towns like these. One of these days I'm getting out of here for sure. By the way, my parents and friends call me Rosa. It's just a nickname, but you can use it too if you like. Oh, Rosa's a lovely girl, don't you think? Oh, okay. Now, just as long as Corinne's... Now, just how long does Corinne plan on keeping me waiting? Sorry about that. My wife is out shopping, but she always gets caught up in making small talk. I suppose we can take this as another sign of how peaceful things have been lately. I'm looking for pretty shells. You want to help, mister? I absolutely do not want to do that. My son never even lifts a finger to help me. Ah, that boy. I mean, it's a really clean looking image. It's just low poly, but that's a typical Falcom game. They're all, you know, a decade behind everybody else. Karnak Local Militia Headquarters. There's a flyer posted on the bulletin board. Calling all youths, a career in the Karnak Militia awaits you. Rates start at 600 gold per day, depending on experience. Not a very generous salary. Now what?
Oh, you got a job for us?
Huh? Wait a second.
Don't tell me. You're here to sign up for the militia, right? Never seen you around before.
But I think we're about the same age.
The name's Gren. How about you?
Adol introduced himself.
Adol, huh? Man, oh man, you've just gotta enlist. We could really use a guy like you. Wait, what's with the long face?
About the pay.
Ugh. Is that a deal breaker? It did used to be slightly better for what it's worth.
But the mayor slashed our budget in order to keep the militia from being overfunded.
When the Balta Sea Force says jump, he asks, how high?
It's pathetic enough to drive you to tears.
I think I'll join up anyway.
You mean it? I knew I liked you for a reason.
The only problem is, our commander and the others are out at the moment.
They should be here tomorrow, though, so feel free to swing by again around noon. Call it a hunch, but I've got a feeling you and I are gonna be fast friends. Calling all youths, a career in the Karnak militia awaits you.
Seek me.
Oh, Adol's always hearing things that gets him into trouble.
Way. Seek me. Right here. Find me.
Lila shell. Mysterious shell adorned with distinctive decorations. It's a white conch adorned with ornate patterns. Nothing else about it seems to be particularly unusual. However, the wolf from just now lies still, defeated. It attacked out of nowhere, so it had to be taken down. What was it doing wandering in town to begin with? Unbelievable as it is, the wolf's wounds seem to be closing up in no time flat.
Swordsman, can you hear me?
The girl's voice emanates from the shell picked up earlier.
They stole you. Mana. Enough power. Defeat.
You can now use skills. Hold right button and press YXBA on the controller, or press 1, 2, 3, 4 on the keyboard to perform skills at the cost of SP. Consumed SP skill points will recover over time. Select X skill from the main menu to assign your preferred skills to the 4 allotted buttons. Raid dash. Oh yeah. What was up with that wolf?
I'm sorry. I don't... any details. My name? Leela.
Oh, Leela. Of course I pronounced that wrong.
Who are you?
Adol spoke his name aloud.
Adol. Search Island. Come find help.
What island? Where?
In go.
Lila's voice cut out completely. Adol attempted to call her through the shell several times after, but received no response. With the sun beginning to set, he decided to return to the inn and confer with Dogi and Dr. Flare.
So the shell spoke to you. How very curious. As for this mana you mentioned, can we assume it's some form of magic?
Too early to know.
Well, of course it is. You only just got it a little while ago. That wolf you fought that just wouldn't die has me hung up too. I talked up a storm with the guys down at the docks, but none of them mentioned anything close to that.
It may well be that something is actively unfolding as we speak.
The Balta Sea Force, Mana, an undead wolf, and a girl named Leela. Doesn't seem to tie in with that Sea King's throne we heard about earlier, either. It's just mystery after mystery around here. You know what that means.
Yep, our newest adventure begins.
Here I always thought adventure was something you had to seek out. But whenever you're around, Adol, it seems to find us instead.
Yeah.
Nothing like a little intrigue to spice up a trip. Finding that girl's gonna be a tall order, though. This Gulf's got more islands than you can shake a stick at.
The first step is to gather information. You'll also be in need of a ship.
I'll put my new job down at the harbor to use and poke around for some intel.
As for myself, the Azrat Clinic has hired me on as a temporary physician. I'll see if I can't find someone in town who's willing to lend us a hand.
Sounds like a plan. Let's kick things off first thing tomorrow morning, Adol.
Karnak, Day 2. After breakfast, Dogi and Dr. Flare headed out for their respective workplaces. In the meanwhile, Adol decided to wander the village some more until it was time to meet up with the local militia. The Normans are a horrific bunch. They've been raiding ships and burning down villages for a long time now. Some say that the Balta Sea Force is better than the rest, but somehow I doubt that. In any case, you can't trust them. I wish they'd hurry and clear off already. Ah, red-haired one. Allow me to get a good look at you, if I may. I see. So it's you. Who are you? I am but an itinerant fortune teller, and so too are you, a nameless traveler, for now. Just what will you accomplish here in these lands? Ah, such fascinating prospects. I am but a nameless traveling fortune teller, and you, red-haired one, are the most intriguing indeed. Just what will you accomplish here in these lands? Okay. Where are you, girlfriend? Oh, you're that boy I met at the harbor yesterday. You have a room here at our inn, correct? How's your stay been? Comfortable, I'm sure. My husband Gillian's cuisine is held in high esteem, and our daughter Rosa is very attentive to our guests. Yes, we must varies do our level best each and every day. Your business is greatly appreciated. Ah, shucks, thanks. Oh, Adol. Going out for a bit? I'm glad I caught you. Our front desk received a letter with your name on it. When did it arrive? It wasn't here last night, so it must have been delivered this morning. Kind of odd timing, don't you think? The sealed letter is addressed to Adol Kristen. Adol tore the seal open. I'll be waiting at the town beach. That's all they wrote? There's no sender listed, either. You don't suppose it's just a prank? I think I'll go check it out. You will? Well, just don't bite off more than you can chew. Oh, right. If you'll excuse me, I have an errand that needs doing. Our tables could use fresh decorations, so I'm off to pick some flowers outside of town. Outside of town? Is that safe? Yes, it's right off a well-traveled road, so I'll be okay. You take care, too, Adol. There's still a short while before it's time to meet up with the commander of the local militia. Now might be a good chance to head for the beach, like the letter instructed. Are you my mystery pen pal?
Didn't think you'd show up alone. There's something I need to double check. You're probably full of questions, but I'm in no mood to explain. Just think of this as us picking up where we left off yesterday.
Is that Nana?
So you do know of it.
Enemies will perform a power attack after emitting a red warning aura. Note that power attacks cannot be defended against through regular guarding or evasion. Okay, well, then what do we do about them?
Hold back this
Nothing?
time.
How's that?
Speed. Power of mana. How'd you get your hands on it? You didn't use it back on the Adamas. I could say that much.
Adol laid everything that had happened out for the raid captainess as plainly as he could.
Leela? Never heard of her. Mana, on the other hand, is my people's concept of a formless power. Imbued in a sword, it brings forth victory. Imbued in a vessel, it grants safe passage. Only those chosen by the All-Father Har are able to wield it. Out of the Sea Force, that list starts and ends with me and my old man.
Well, how did you obtain it?
And just why should I tell a louse like you? Blood and thunder. Grieger.
What's a Grieger?
You fought one just yesterday, didn't you? Put a Grieger down with just any old weapon, and it'll rise back up again and again, wounds fully healed. Mana is the only thing that can slay him for good. Well, aren't we popular?
At that moment, Adol and the girl felt it's as though they knew exactly how the other was planning to act. Their intentions flowed effortlessly between them, conveying their every move without a word.
What was that just now?
Horniness. Hold right trigger to enter duo mode, during which you can press A to perform joint attacks. Not attacking while in duo mode will place you in the dual guard stance, letting you automatically defend against enemy attacks. Oh, interesting.
What in hell did you just do to us?
I didn't do anything.
At least now I have a good grasp on what I was sent to investigate. We're finished here. So long.
I still got questions.
And what would I gain by answering them? I'm a Norman. A pirate. One false move, and you might be my next kill. Can't handle that? Then pack your bags and see yourself out of Obelia Gulf. Son of a... Handcuffs? Made of mana? You! What did you pull this time?
That wasn't me either.
Guess not. This mana doesn't seem to be coming from either of us. It's stuck tight! Hey, quit gawking and help! This spells trouble for us in more ways than you can count. Either we get these off, or I'm sending you back with one less hand. Got that?
Adol and the girl then attempted to use their mana abilities to free themselves. Ultimately, however, the mysterious shackles refused to come off, leaving them at a loss on what to do next.
No luck. Might well be a curse of some kind. Hate to say it, but my old man's probably the only person we can turn to at this point.
Where's your dad now?
Couldn't even begin to guess. What a mess. They call you Adol, right? We'll have to stick together for a while. Unless you fancy me lopping you off at the wrist.
I'd be happy to come with.
Huh. Nothing phases you, does it? My name's Karja. Karja Balta. Daughter of Grimson Balta, Jarl of the Balta Sea Force.
I figured that was the case.
Already put two and two together, eh? Well, no time to waste. I'm off to report in at the Balta Sea Force's command post. It's over by the harbor, so don't fall behind.
I can't fall behind. Karja has joined the party. I can't fall behind. We have mana cuffs on.
Hey, don't stray too far. Taking enough tumbles for my liking. Wonder if Gunnar knows anything about this. Ugh, come on.
Merciful heavens! Look, it's the pirate princess. Please forgive us. I don't know where her manners are. I'm assuming you get this often. Comes with the territory in the Balta Sea Force. What happened on the Adamas was nothing compared to what Karnak saw about a year ago. At the time, we wound up executing several rival pirates right in front of the townsfolk. They've acted like this towards me ever since. But enough of that. Let's hurry over to the command post. My chaperone will get on my case if we're late, and I'd rather not deal with this any longer than I have to. You guys have something new to say? Well, if it ain't an Einar, stopping by Karnak for the time being? Yes, I had several business meetings with the merchants in town. I'll be heading back to the island soon to unload my inventory. I was able to stock up on quite a few interesting products, so be sure to drop by the store, Princess. Will do. Looking forward to hearing about your travels. It's rare to see you walking around town with company, Princess. You seemed rather busy yesterday, so I hope you'll find time to relax today. Whoa, who's the girl, Adol? We've barely been here a day. How'd you already... Wait a minute. Is that who I think it is? I remember you from the Adamas. You must be Adol's friend. Huh, you're actually pretty well built, now that I'm seeing you up close. So, any reason you're wandering around town together all buddy-buddy like this? It's a long story. We're not buddy-buddy. Things just ended up this way. What in the world happened between these two? Not entirely sure what's going on here, but it doesn't seem like she means any harm. You better fill me in on the details later, though, Adol.
Hey, Princess. Back already? Who's your +1?
Is Gunnar in? I have a report to make.
Yeah, I'll go get him for you.
Not every day you see the princess bring in someone from the straight and narrow. You her little boy toy now, or what?
Not a chance.
Should have figured. She'd never go for a shrimp like you. Wait a sec. Wasn't that swordsman she threw down with on the Adamas also?
Hey, what are you whispering to him about?
Just making small talk.
I swear.
What seems to be the trouble, Princess?
Gunnar, how many times do I have to tell you to quit calling me that?
Oh? Who might this boy be?
He's the swordsman Grimston told me to look into.
A request from the Jarl. Ah, now I remember. He was a passenger on the Adamas.
Karja relayed everything that occurred on the beach to Gunnar.
I see. So we have here not only a mana wielder, but a pair of mystical shackles. What's more, the latter has rendered you unable to separate from the former.
That better not be a smirk I see.
Not at all. This isn't humorous in the least. It is, however, exceptionally unusual. Only the Jarl can make the final call here. Unfortunately, he is currently out at sea on an expedition. We do not expect him back until tomorrow.
Tomorrow? And just what am I supposed to do until then?
With all due respect, Princess, I must ask that you spend the remainder of your day here in Karnak.
What? But why?
It wouldn't do to have a non-shield brother accompanying us, for one thing. This may even be to your benefit from a certain perspective. What better chance to familiarize yourself with how those under our rule live and think? I believe you're at an age now where such matters ought to be considered.
Fair.
Not to mention, it is possible for this turn of events to be grossly misconstrued.
In what way?
There are those who would be only too pleased to regard this as a scandalous affair on your part. We have no need to voluntarily provide them with issues to raise at the Thingstead.
All right already! I get the message.
Adol, was it? My apologies for giving you a fright on the Adamas. I am Gunnar, War Chief of the Baltus Sea Force.
It's nice to properly meet you.
I'm recalling you correctly then. Your battles aboard the Adamas were very impressive. No doubt you have many thoughts on this subject, but collaboration is a must if you want any hope of resolving this. We Normans have our ways, some of which may run counter to your own. Nevertheless, I would ask that you work in concert with her and us until we manage to set you two free.
You might argue with the war chief.
Good. I appreciate the understanding. I will notify you as soon as the Jarl returns, Princess. Until then, travel with Adol and mind what he says.
Don't you have that backwards, Gunnar? Why are you so trusting of him anyway?
That you feel the need to ask is all the more reason to make use of this opportunity. The boy is, if nothing else, accustomed to travel. I expect he will be very accommodating. I had best return to my duties. Take care. I leave the rest to you, Adol.
Yeah, it's interesting. All these buttons are shortcuts. Which I certainly wasn't expecting. I mean, it makes it easier rather than, you know, clicking the direction button here and there all the time. But why don't we stop it there for now? This is meowmurai. You've been watching East 10 Nordics running on PC. Yeah, this is a surprisingly well done port. Or it's a surprisingly well done game. I always consider every East game an old game for some reason. It just seems like that's the case. But yeah, this is a new East game finally. It's been a while since we saw East 9. And I think they've made some improvements to the engine and the overall artwork. Honestly, it looks like a Nintendo game as far as like the shading and the character and the character art. The engine does run really nicely on mid-range modern PC. Obviously this engine is still pretty old, and although it does have some modernized effects on it, it didn't have anything like DLSS or FSR. But it doesn't really appear like it needs it. I mean, I have this thing running on Ultra at 1440p, and I don't think it's ever dropped below 120 hertz or 120 FPS at any point in time. Except for like maybe a loading screen. Outside of that, yeah, it's more Adventures of Adol Kristen. We have the dual system again, so we have two characters that we control. Maybe there's going to be a third one as well. Action RPG, long-running series. Definitely check it out if you've never played an East game before and you are into action-style RPGs. I think these games have like a lot of rich, well-made fun, in the exploration and the combat. With combat being, not too terribly complicated, but also not too simple as you learn more skills. So, yeah, looking forward to playing this. I know this is a kind of a weird one to release at this time of the year, and it's been out for quite a while in Asia, but. Now us folks in North America finally get it, and I think we should take advantage of it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.